Liverpool FC's preseason has concluded. Now, I'm not somebody that takes too much stock in preseason because a lot of things can go right in preseason and then doing things that can go wrong, right? But I went into the end of last season expecting a big preseason, right? This is Arne Slot's first preseason. He can bring in the players he wants. He can kind of start to play more of the style of play that he wants. Obviously, he implemented a lot of the things he wanted in the first season. And slowly, we still had a lot of Jurgen Klopp's demeanors and patterns, and sometimes it would be a little bit hectic, and he wants more of a controlled style of play. So I expected this preseason to be a little bit more controlled, right? A little bit more experimental, of course, seeing what kind of players can fit in what positions, trying out different styles of play, different varieties of the 4-2-3-1, obviously sticking with that formation. So I was interested to see how he would kind of implement everything that he wants in this preseason. And there's a lot of things that pleasantly surprised me. First of all, let's go through some of the games, right? The win against Preston, the win against Stoke City, the win against Yokohama F. Marinos, the 2 wins against Athletic Club Bilbao, and then the loss against AC Milan. All of those games, I think we saw the best version of an Arne Slot team in the 2 games against Athletic Club Bilbao, right? It was the most polished preseason game that we had. Obviously, it makes sense because it's the last preseason games that we have. But my main takeaways from my first takeaway from the preseason is the squad depth is incredible, right? The squad depth has been outstanding. We've seen on the right, obviously we have Salah, but then you see Ben Doak come in and perform like he did against Athletic Club. Incredible, taking on his man, beating his man, trying out volleys from 30 yards. Incredible, just drive, tenacity, technique, 2-footed. And we see that same thing on the left with Rio Ngmoa, right? Scored multiple goals now. The goal he scored against Athletic Club is the pick of the bunch. The confidence to drive with the ball from half field all the way to the edge of the box and still finish. This guy's incredible, right? And I think, like I said in an earlier video when I was talking about our youth academy players, we have to be careful with him, right? We don't want to put too much expectation on him, too much on his shoulders too early. But this guy's incredible, right? Gakpo, incredible all throughout preseason. Evidenced by his 2 goals against Athletic Club in the last game. Darwin Núñez, obviously he's out the door, right? He's out the door, but he's scoring consistently. He's taking his chances in preseason. Now, it doesn't really matter because when the season starts, he doesn't do that. But he performed preseason, and I think he knows that move is coming. He's doing his best to get his move. But he performed great all preseason. Ekitike, betting himself into the squad, performed great all season. The way he set up Salah for that goal against Athletic Club, exceptional. That's something that I haven't seen. I don't want to be comparing players to player, but we haven't had a 9 do that since Firmino, right? Like a player that can actually do that, link up, create. We haven't had that kind of player since Firmino left. So seeing him do that, drift onto the left, is incredible. My main kind of takeaway is the midfield depth, right? We know we want McAllister always to be a starter. It depends who the other one is next to him. It could be Gravenberch, who has played great all preseason. Soberslai in that deeper role has been amazing all preseason. Obviously, Curtis Jones can come in and do a thing or two. But my main takeaway is Trey Nyoni. Trey Nyoni, the teenager. I've talked about this guy for over a year now, but especially this preseason, the way he's so matured. He's played in the 10, he's played in the 6, he's played in a bit of a hybrid 6-8. He's played it in a center back as Athletic Club. This guy can play. His IQ, his passing range, his control on the ball, his confidence on the ball. He gave away the ball a couple times, but that's gonna happen as a young player. You're gonna make silly mistakes like that from time to time. But he's so composed and so confident on the ball, right? Obviously, we had Bradley, our right back, a couple games. He's been injured now, but Frimpong, his energy, his willingness to track back and defend is admirable. But Kirkes, I didn't. It's like nobody can pass this guy. His aggression and tenacity in defending is incredible. The main issue I have now is our center back position. We need cover, right? Because we cannot go into games with Robertson and Tsimikas or Endo. I like Endo, but I want an actual center back. Preferably a bigger body, a bigger, more physically imposing center back. We need that. All right, and then Mamardashvili and Alisson are two incredible goalkeepers. We'll see what happens at the end of the season, but it seems like Arne Slot is going to lean towards Mamardashvili a little bit more as the season progresses. I'll also be 34 next year, so let's see kind of how that all plays out, right? Man, that's the first takeaway. Second takeaway is our academy players are incredible. These guys are supremely talented. Now, we saw Will Wright come in against Athletic Club. He could have scored. Chiesa laid it off to him. He could have scored. I won't really call him an academy player. He's going to play in our academy, but he's not really an academy product. But our youngsters, our teenagers are incredible. Incredibly talented players. Ben Doak, we've heard about him for years now. He's still only 19. He's incredible. Two-footed, same with Rio and Gamoa. Two-footed, can beat a man, can strike a ball, can link up play. Incredible youngsters in our team coming up. I talked about a little bit earlier, Jaden Dance. Let's see kind of where he fits in. If Isak comes in, Ekatika is there, what's he gonna do? But he's incredible so far, right? Lucas Stevenson, unfortunate, the way we conceded against Athletic Club, that it was his error that gave Gurzeta that header, but he's been incredible all preseason. Aggressive, consistent energy down the right flank. He's been really, really good. Trenioni has been my standout along with Rio, controlling the tempo of a game. And we saw that many times last season when he would come on and play a couple minutes here, or he would start games and just kind of control the game. Be comfortable on the ball, be confident on the ball. Like, this guy, I love to see where he can go. I think he's officially been registered as a first-team player. So now we can kind of see more of him in that midfield. And I hope we can see more of that. I hope we can see times where, obviously, Gravenberch can play the 10, and we can play maybe Trey and McAllister, kind of somebody more mature next to him to kind of let him feel it out a little bit more, right? I wouldn't want to see Trey and Gravenberch together because I think it's too youthful. But McAllister, you can kind of have him hold Trey's hand a little bit more. Get things like that, right? Or we're playing against a third division team in the FA Cup or whatever, and we can kind of play Rio for a half or play him for a full 90 and see kind of how that goes. So our young players are incredible. And the future is so bright as we start to see Salah age out. Maybe McAllister reaches 30. Obviously Virgil's going to be out. Konate reaches 30. All these things going to happen. We have players ready to kind of take over, right, in the next five or so years. So I'm excited about that. Number 3, Mo Salah is still he's still the guy in this team. And I'm not saying that like it's anything surprising, but he's so far and away the best player in our team. The way he creates chances, and now that you have, obviously you had the pace and the aggression and the running ability of Nunez and obviously Diaz, but they seem like such unpolished finishers. Like, they're so inconsistent when it comes to finishing. We'll see. Let's see what happens with Ekatike and what happens with. We know what Gakpo can do. And Verts, yes, he made some chances against Athletic Club. Yes, he missed some chances. He loses the ball sometimes, but he's trying things. So he's going to fit in perfectly. He's just trying things right now, trying to see where he fits in and how everything will look. But Mo Salah's going to create so many chances for so many players. Last season, when we were screaming for the 20 goals, 20 assists, and we were seeing Nunez miss and Diaz miss. Let's say Isak comes in, for example. I don't think those misses are happening. I don't think those misses are happening if Gakpo's in those positions, right? Verts, when he kind of beds himself in, I don't think those misses are happening. So Mo Salah is still the best. Everything kind of centers around him. Everything kind of flows around him, right? Even though our midfield has been incredible, Rio and Gakpo on the left have been incredible, Mo Salah is still the star of this team. And we'll see what happens when he goes to the AFCON, but his productivity and his consistency is second to none in this football club. No other player can match that, right? At least not right now. Let's see when these guys kind of play a full season, if they can now start to help him carry the load, right? I think the load will be spread a little bit more this coming season. So let's see. But Mohamed is still the absolute star of this team, and in my opinion, still the best player in the Premier League. The fourth thing and the main takeaway for me is the football is beautiful. The football is even better than last season, right? It's preseason. Yes, Preston and Stoke, Yokohama F. Marinos, even Atletico Bilbao, they're not the standard of the Premier League teams that we're going to be competing with. No disrespect to those teams, but they're not really the standard of, can we do it against Arsenal, Chelsea, City? Can we do it against those type of caliber of teams, right? But the style of play, the way, one of my favorite things watching this preseason is the way we control counterattacks with such speed and technique and agility. All these players are sprinting, and it's like they're all in the perfect position. It's all smooth. Nothing's forced, nothing's rushed. Every counterattack feels like it's going to be a goal. The way we rotate the ball in the midfield, between our midfield three, between Kirkes kind of tucking in, inverting a little bit, kind of creating this box, circle, whatever you want to call it in the midfield. Frimpong being able to underlap Salah, sprint, the movement, the passing, the control, the technique, everything. And this is what Arne Slot likes his players to have. Every player has to be technical. Every player has to be comfortable on the ball. Every player has to be able to kind of control the ball and pick a pass, and move without the ball and find the perfect space. That's what he wants all his players to be able to do. And that's what they're doing, right? They're doing it on a consistent basis where it's like we're strangling teams with possession. We're strangling teams with chances, with shots, with control of the ball. All right, and we haven't played. I don't think we've played a full game with kind of our full ideal 11 yet. Right, today was kind of the closest, but I think Gravenberch is suspended for the first game, so it'll probably be McAllister to start the first game of the season. Obviously, there was no Van Dijk and there was no Alisson, so we still missed three kind of key pieces of our team. Right, I want to see that team with those three guys instead of the three guys we saw today. No disrespect to Mamardashvili, Endo, and was it Robertson? Robertson. No, sorry, Endo and Soboslai. No respect to them, but there's so much more control when you have Van Dijk and McAllister in the spine, right? And obviously Alisson as well. Just the comfortability, just the familiarity he has with the defense is going to be even better, right? The fifth thing is the negative, right? The goals conceded each game. Like, there was too many. I think Yokohama was the only game that we did not concede. And that's not good. 2 against Bilbao, 1 in the earlier game against Bilbao, 4 against Milan, still considered 1 against Preston. I think Stoke City was a clean sheet. I have to check the results off the top of my head, but a lot of goals scored, but too many goals conceded. And I know he's experimenting. He's playing Tsimikas, Robertson, Endo at center back. Endo has played center back at Stuttgart. I understand that, but that's not really where we want him in the Premier League, to be honest. Right? Nioni at center back, Nalo at center back. Like, all these center backs, but none of them are really center backs, right? So we need at least 2 center backs. Some people are saying let's sign 1. We need 2. Because Gomez is inconsistent with injuries. Konate, we know, he gets injured every season. We need 2 center backs, right? They're looking at Constantine. I'm so sorry, but the Wolfsburg defender, right? He's very good. I watch a lot of Bundesliga games. I watch a lot of Wolfsburg games. He's a very good defender. I would love him to be, one of our defenders that we sign. Obviously, Gehi as well. I would love for him to be another center back that we sign. That right there would fill me with so much confidence that we're good in every position. I don't care to sign another 6. I don't care for any of that. We have what we need right now. We have the depth. It's time to push on to the league. So that's my kind of 5 main takeaways from the preseason. I'm thoroughly impressed. I think a lot of the things that went wrong in the preseason were because of experimentation, because of lack of personnel. it's natural, right? A lot of teams concede stupid goals in preseason, silly goals that you wouldn't concede, during the full season. But I'm thoroughly pleased with what I saw, right? Was that Stoke, Preston, I had the club twice, Yokohama F. Marinos, the 5 wins and 1 loss. So it's a good, I said preseason is not everything, but it's a great start. And the main thing, we built so much confidence in our youth. I don't think we need another left winger, right? Because if Isak comes in, Isak, Ekitike, Gakpo, Rio will all kind of float in that striker / left wing, position. So we'll be set there. Wirtz can go there. Then Szoboszlai can go to the 10. Then McAllister can play DM with Gravenberch, with Nioni, with Jones. We have Frimpong, we have Bradley, we have Robertson, Kirkes, Simicas, whoever we want to play there. We have Van Dijk, Kanate, and you see what the issue is. Only them 2. But then we have Mamardashvili and Allison. So once we send those 2 center backs, I think we're golden, and I think we'll be fine for every competition throughout the season. One of the issues last season was at the end, our legs were gone. Gravenberch's legs were gone. McAllister, he was tired. Salah, he'd carried the whole team on his back for 7 months. He was starting to slow down. He was starting to get tired. He needed help. Isak would bring that help. Ekitike would bring that help. Wirtz would bring that help. Gakpo already helped him last season, but his legs were going as well because we weren't rotating much at all. Right? We weren't rotating. Slot didn't trust our bench. Now he can trust that bench a little bit more, and the youth are helping with that case as well. So I'm excited for the season. Preseason went well. Thoroughly pleased. Now let's see what happens in the Community Shield against Crystal Palace on Sunday. But I'm extremely happy with the squad. I'm extremely happy with what we're kind of building with Arne Slot, and I can't wait to see more of it. Thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts. If you're a Liverpool fan, what do you think of the preseason? What do you think of the players that have kind of come through? How do you see this season kind of panning out? Leave your thoughts in your comments below. Like this video, and also subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys during the season. Bye.